Y'all know what time it is. Y'all don't know, y'all better ask somebody. Hat on, suit on, looking like a dapper dog, giving them all dressed like $1 million bucks, diamond things in its cuffs. Y'all tell me who could it be but Steve Harvey? Yeah, listening to me. Put your hands together for Steve Harvey. Put your hands together. Steve Harvey. Steve Harvey, why don't you join in? Steve Harvey, you're the one, y'all. Better give me some eggs while I listen to Steve Harvey. Won't you join in with me? If you're with me, help me say, you gotta turn it on, yeah. Turn it on. Steve Harvey in the morning, y'all. So y'all can hear me on. Turn it up. Steve Harvey in the morning, y'all. Yeah. Turn your radio on. You gotta turn your radio on. Turn your radio on. You gotta turn it on. Steve Harvey got to turn them out. Got to turn them out. Steve Harvey turn them on in the morning, y'all. Come on, Steve. Come on. Do your thing, Big Daddy.
I sure will. Good morning, everybody. You're listening to The Voice. Come on, dig me now. One and only Steve Harvey. Got a radio show. Okay, I was thinking about it this morning, and I said, what can I share in a different way today? You know, it creates a challenge every morning to come up with something different. And at times, you know, I feel like I'm reiterating myself, and I am, and I find different ways to say the same thing almost. But I do that because, you know, sometimes if you hear it a different way, it impacts you differently. I've heard people say stuff to me my entire life, but somebody came along, said the exact same thing, but they said it a different way, and it struck a chord in me. It rung a bell. And so that's what I attempt to do. And, you know, some mornings I play back some ones that I think are just memorable or that I want to reiterate. And there's nothing wrong with that, so I hope everybody understands that. Today, though, I got one for you. I want to ask you a question. What choices are you making? See, life is full of choices. Now, as creatures, God gave us the humans. Of all the creatures He created, the humans, we have more of a power of choice than do any other creature He created. Fish have to live in water. They have to. Men have gone to outer space. Men have gone underwater for days and weeks and months at a time. You know, I mean, we got choices here. We can live in a hot climate. We can go live in a cold climate. You know, most animals are created for certain regions, certain climates. They don't do well in this. You know, you don't find a lot of animals in the polar ice, but then you don't find polar bears down in the, you know, South Arctic or the South Equator. So, you know, what choices are you making is what I'm saying, because we all have the power of choice. Now, I have made some bad choices in my life. I want you to understand that clearly. And I still, every now and then, I'll do myself a disservice with another bad choice. But I have tried to narrow them down through life experiences and reduce the amount of major mistakes I make. But let me tell you something. You're listening to a person who has made major mistakes in his choices. in my decision-making process, I have thrown myself down the cliff. I can't tell you how many times. When I decided not to pay attention in college, when I didn't develop study habits in high school, when I chose this woman over that woman. I chose, man, I can't tell you, y'all. I did it. I did it. To go over here and get with this girl, this woman over here, when I should not have. Clearly, man, should not have. But I made the choice to do it anyway. I made a decision. I did some things that caused myself to be homeless for a period of time. I made some decisions that messed up my credit for a long stretch of time. I made some decisions that, just had people just kind of, not even wanting to help me. So the question is, what choices are you making? When I changed my decision-making process, I changed the entire direction of my life. When I made a conscious decision to look at life differently and make better choices and better decisions, it changed my entire life. I decided, instead of going down the path I was going on, I decided to choose life. First of all, I wanted to live. So I decided I wanted to choose life. So I'm not going to do the things that could bring about my demise or my death. I'm out. I ain't with this. This is not, no. I choose life. Then I made another decision. I said I choose life and I choose it more abundantly. You know what that means? God comes into your life to give you life and give you life more abundantly. So that means just more of it. So I chose that. I said, okay, man, I need to start talking to God a little bit more, because the way I've been figuring this thing, man, has gotten me to this point. And I ain't really cool with the point I'm at. See, eventually you just got to be uncool with the point you at. So I chose life and I chose it more abundantly. Then I chose to start showing mercy to people, because I needed some more people to show mercy to me. See, remember I said I was going through a period in my life when it seemed like wouldn't nobody help me? Nobody seemed to exhibit mercy towards me. Well, I wasn't creating that much mercy myself, I don't guess. So I decided to choose mercy. I decided to choose forgiveness. I started forgiving people who had wronged me, who told me I wasn't going to amount to nothing. I forgave them. Who tried to talk me off the path, who went by my mother's house and told my mama, your son Steve, he lazy. He don't want to work. That's why he out there struggling like that, trying to do that comedy thing. I wasn't lazy, man. I just didn't want to work for you. I'm willing to work. Look at me. I work hard. Trust and believe that. But I was not willing to work for them. Or I wasn't willing to take the route they took, so they labeled me lazy. I'm not a lazy person, but I chose forgiveness, though. I chose to forgive them because I didn't have time to berate them. And then I chose moving forward. I decided that I wasn't going to go back, that I wasn't going to live my life in my past, that I wasn't going to let my past determine who I was going to be. See, I was who I was, but I am who I am. And I'm cool with both them people. I really am. I'm absolutely fine with the person I used to be. God got to save you from something. So I'm cool with that. But all that was the ingredients, though, that got me to this point. So I'm fine with my past. But what I do not do is allow my past to dictate what I am, where I'm going, what I can be. God forgave me, so I forgave myself. I chose to move forward, not stay in the past. I choose laughing. I choose laughing. I decided that I was going to laugh more every day. I chose learning. I wanted to open myself up to new things. I wanted to open myself up to knowing something that I've never known before. I allow people to teach me things. I chose joy. I decided to quit seeking fun all the time and sit down somewhere and be all right with me. See, I ain't got to go and do no more. I ain't got to go out here and hook up with this person and get this in my life, and man, let's buy this and hook this up, and then y'all come in here and we're gonna have some fun. Nah, man, I stopped doing that. I chose joy. I chose to be sitting somewhere with my girl with a cigar, and I'm just all right, just me and her. I chose joy, man. See, fun, you got to go do something to have fun. But joy is within. Joy is when you sitting there with yourself because you done connected with your creator. You done found something with God, and you cool with you now. See, I chose to be cool with me. What are your choices? You got to make better choices. You make better choices, you have a better outcome. You change your attitude, you change your altitude. It all ties together, but we got to just make better decisions. What are you deciding today? Watch it, okay? Be careful. Make sure you're start making better decisions today.
You're listening to the Steve Harvey Morning Show.
Ladies and gentlemen, may I have your undivided attention, please? This is the Steve Harvey Morning Show. On the go, full of life and vigor. I would like to invite all of you to join in today and spend some time laughing as hard as you can. I'm talking about that kind of laughter, that amazing kind of laughter. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the Steve Harvey Morning Show.
Yay, yay.
And it begins. Shirley Strawberry. That's what I'm talking about right there. Oh, ignorant. Yeah. Ignorant.
We ain't done nothing.
Be about it. That's what I do, Tommy.
Her eyes about to
Carla
pop on her.
Farrell. Oh, that's all. They always look like that, Tommy. Carla Farrell.
I don't know. Hey, I don't know what's going on.
Watch this right here. Junior.
No. Hell no.
Come on, boy. Yeah, what I'm doing? Tommy the Fool.
We in here, baby.
That's how you're going to be laughing all morning. That's all we're saying.
Thirst.
That's all
And
we're
that's
saying.
gonna be fun.
Yeah.
All it is, man. That's how you do it, man. People don't understand. You should, if you want to stay young and you want to stay healthy, you should laugh really hard at least once a day. Now, the sad thing is, the average person only laughs hard. Matter of fact, I'm going to give you a fact. I'm not going to tell you that right now. I'm going to give you a fact.
Okay.
Y'all go ahead and talk amongst yourselves.
Amongst ourselves. Well,
Yeah.
All right. There's a lot going on. I guess he's looking it up while we're talking amongst
Hey,
ourselves.
let me ask y'all why we talking about ourselves. Is it wrong for me to try to throw a Super Bowl, a big game party without the big game being on? Can I boycott and throw a party at the same time?
Hell
Is that
no.
possible?
Nobody's just sitting up at your house with them wings with nothing on. I'm mad about it because the two teams that should be in it are not in it. That call against the Kansas City Chiefs, which gave the Patriots a first down when it was fourth down, that roughing the passer.
Well, yeah.
That right there was a horrible call. And then that catch that they gave that dude, that clearly nose of the ball was on the ground. I don't even know. That was another bad call.
No, they was talking about trying to play that game over.
No,
It was
they
a
trying to play
petition floating.
no, the Saints game is what they trying to play.
The Saints game. That's what
he
I'm
means.
The worst call in the history of football for a game of that magnitude. It was the worst, man.
yeah.
Yeah, I guess I've gone through.
I'm not boycotting because I've seen all 53 of the Super Bowls. I'm not gonna miss this. I don't give a damn who in it.
Okay.
Cleveland wasn't gonna ever be here, so hell, why would I boycott the game?
Boy, if that would have happened to Cleveland,
Oh, my God.
Oh, you would
Cleveland.
walk to the
if that would have happened to Cleveland,
All right, listen,
The
guys.
football team wouldn't have got out of the stadium, so it wouldn't been no damn Super Bowl.
We'll talk more football when we come back at 32 after the hour. Something about Tom Brady. We'll talk about it right after this.
no.
You're listening to the Steve Harvey Morning Show.
All right, you guys, did you get it all out of your system? Because I don't think you can.
It's too big.
Yeah, this is
Too
major.
big.
Everybody's talking about this. Everyone is. Well, check this out, though. The New England Patriots owner, Robert Kraft, he's not mincing his words, saying Tom Brady is the greatest quarterback in the history of the NFL. Period. Okay? Period.
He said period.
Period. Of course, there were reports last week that Brady walked into the Patriots practice facility and declared himself the baddest MF on the planet.
Wow.
I love it. I love
I
it.
ain't mad at
Have
him either
confidence.
one.
I'm not mad.
You can't even argue.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't even argue. You can't even argue.
Yeah. So Kraft says we're lucky to have the greatest quarterback in history. Yesterday, Patriots owner Robert Kraft had teamed up with Jay-Z, Meek Mill, and 76ers owner Michael Rubin for an event to launch the Reform Alliance, which is focused on overhauling the probation and parole system here in America. The goal is to free 1 million people over the next 5 years. Wow. Wow. And since he's become tight with Meek, we asked if the Pats would be playing Mill's hit Dreams and Nightmares if they win the Super Bowl this year, to which it sounds like he says, of course. The issue with that, Dreams and Nightmares, was essentially the song for the Philadelphia Eagles last season. You remember? They beat the Pats in the Super Bowl. So I got to ask the guys, Steve, Junior, Tommy, is Tom Brady, in your opinion, the greatest quarterback in the history of the NFL?
He in the top three.
Yeah.
I got to give it to him, man.
Who are the other two?
I mean, he's in the discussion for sure.
Mm-hmm.
And I just can't think of anybody who's won it the way he's won it as often as he's won it.
Yeah.
He's got to be one of the greatest quarterbacks to ever play the game. I just don't. I can't name nobody that was better at it than him with the wins and big games and
Well, Tommy
Fourth
said top
quarter.
three. Who are the other two?
I still like Starback from back in the day.
Oh, Roger Staubach from the
Boy,
Cowboys.
what?
From the Cowboys.
I did. I
Roger
like
Staubach.
Starback.
He ain't close to Tom Brady.
No. He's not even
Who
close.
else, Tommy?
He is
Top
nowhere
three,
near.
dog. You
Tommy-
can have my three.
Tommy's the only one that
He's
said
old
top
ass.
three. Who
Go
else?
ahead,
Tommy?
anybody say somebody.
He said
Who?
say
Who
somebody.
you
Say
finna,
something like that.
who you finna say? Warren Moon there?
Uh-huh.
No, I ain't gonna say.
Oh,
that.
wow.
I'm gonna say Aaron Rodgers. I like A-Rod.
Aaron Rodgers
Aaron
is
Rodgers,
a
I
bad
like
boy.
him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like him.
Aaron Rodgers is a bad boy.
I just think Tom Brady just for what he wins. He wins the
wins.
Super Bowl.
Yeah.
That's
Every single time.
That's what make you the
He
greatest.
No,
wins
not every
the
single time.
championships.
Well, yeah, you're right. Not
He gets there. They find a
gets
way.
there.
But I think, and you have to give great credit to this. That coach of his
Is a
comes
beast.
up with schemes, man.
Bill Belichick.
But Tom Brady, when he go to that line and he put both them hands on the side of his helmet and he kills the play, it usually works. He's a bad boy. It's no doubt about it.
What about Joe Montana?
He's
I'm
a great
asking.
quarterback.
That boy out of Frisco. What was Frisco?
Joe Montana.
Steve Young.
Oh, he
Steve
came
Young after
after.
him?
Yeah, after
After
Joe
him.
Montana.
He was after. That's where he's from. He was in Frisco. Joe
Right.
Montana.
Steve Young.
Steve Young. Yeah,
That's
who
what,
That's
that's
man,
what
he
Junior
said that
said.
3 times.
Yeah.
He make it hard to have a discussion with him. He really did.
Hey, Junior,
Is you
it's even-
struggling?
Junior,
Is you struggling?
Junior, it's even hard to agree with
Yeah,
him.
I'm trying my best.
Who is that? Who is it? Steve Young? No, not him. Oh, Steve Young.
The one that came after him.
No, the one that came after him.
Steve Young came after Joe Montana.
Yeah, Steve Young. Yeah.
Hi.
Oh, hell yeah, he played some ball. Hey, are you listening?
Not at all, Steve. Not at all.
Man.
Now I'm
Now, I'm going to tell you something. Another bad boy was Brett Favre. Brett Favre was
Oh,
a bad
yeah,
boy.
yeah.
Love Brett
But I'm
Favre.
gonna tell you, man, Dan Marino, he didn't win, but that
Miami.
boy
He
didn't win
can
a Super
throw,
Bowl.
Miami,
man.
No.
yeah.
Oh Lord, that
He can
boy
throw.
can throw. But I'm gonna tell you, that boy down there in New Orleans, Drew
Brees, baby.
Oh man, please understand, he all that in a bag of chips.
That
Boy,
would
they
have been.
keep just ripping this dude.
That would have been.
Last year was the defense, then this year was the refs.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, they do.
Yeah. I know he's hurting right now.
They're the worst, man.
So nothing's going to be done about the referees.
There's no. Well, that referee is out of work.
He gone.
Oh,
Is he gone?
Is he gone?
He will
Yeah,
be.
listen to me. If you're a player and you do that, you're going to lose your job. If you're a coach and you do that, you're going to lose your job. Y'all promise you won't see that referee no more. And the one that was in the middle of the field that turned around and looked, and still didn't throw a flag. I'm thought everybody in the
Man.
building saw it.
So are they paid off or what?
No,
Well, that's the
it's
thing. The
none of that.
credibility of what they didn't do, it takes away from the game. It's like, well, what are y'all doing?
But
And
see,
they keep
they've got to
thinking it's weird.
implement some plan now.
To fix your
Because
mistake.
we have too much technology, and you
But that
can't
happen.
determine games the way they determine them this weekend. You can't have such a blatant missed phone call, a misplay, and in the last 2 minutes of the game cost a person a trip to the Super Bowl with all this technology. It wasn't a blown call. It was a no call.
Yeah.
And it could have been anything. Could have been pass interference. It could have been face guarding. And it could have been helmet to helmet. But they didn't call anything. And then when you show it on the screen, people going, are you kidding me? Even the dude who did it, the cornerback for the Rams, he said,
He admitted it. He
hey,
said
man,
that.
I was
I
just
thought I
trying to stop him from scoring.
Yeah.
But you got to respect the call. That's all I was taught.
All right. Listen, go to Steve Harvey FM if you want to comment on what we're talking about right here, the football. Who's the baddest quarterback in the NFL ever? Is it Tom Brady? Is it Tom Brady? Coming up next, it is the nephew. Can you hear me, nephew? Run That Prank is coming up next. You heard
Talking about
me?
young? Talking about young? Who y'all talking about, young?
Montana.
Montana?
Prank is dumb it down.
You're listening to the Steve Harvey Morning Show.
Coming up at the top of the hour in entertainment news, Jay-Z and Meek Mill just announced details of their brand new criminal justice reform, and good news out of L.A. But right now, Nephew Tommy is here with Run That Prank Back. What you got for us, Nev?
Dumb it down. Dumb it down.
Who you
That's
talking
right.
to?
I'm talking to this lady. We about to give her a call and let her know that her daughter cannot go on spring break with the rest of the kids because her grades are not up to par, and you're going to have to bring it on into the school that entire week. That's right. Dumb it down. Let's run it. Run it.
Hello?
Hello, I'm trying to reach Keisha, please.
Speaking. Who is this?
Hi, Keisha. This is Mr. Roland Barnes, assistant principal here at Academy, where your daughter Ayesha goes.
Yes. What's going on? Is everything okay?
Everything is kind of, let me be honest. It's not good right now. I wanted to call and actually have a private conversation with you about Ayesha.
Oh, God. All right. Tell me. What's going on? What's going on with Ayesha?
Well, as you know, spring break is going to be coming up in March. You do know
Yes.
that, right?
Yes, I'm aware of that.
Okay.
She's looking forward to
Right.
that trip. Yeah.
Well, we have a bit of an issue here. I have done some research, and Ayesha doesn't seem to be doing well as she should be, living up to the expectations of the academy. And what we're going to have to do this spring break is Ayesha will not be allowed to take a spring break with the rest of the kids. We're going to need her to come into school. And there's several kids that are not going to be able to go on spring break, and Ayesha happens to be one of them. There's at least 40 to 50 kids that will be coming to school that entire week that spring break is. The most of the kids are out on spring break.
You have to be mistaken. I mean, my daughter's a straight A student. You
No.
sure you got the right Ayesha? You can't. No.
She is actually the only Ayesha at the academy, ma'am. And I've looked at her grades in the past. She's had some wonderful grades in the past. And I don't know what's taken place this semester that she just seems to have dropped the ball. And what we want to do is, keep these kids focused. As you know, you have to be accepted to be here at this particular school. So, it leaves me no other outlet but to have her come in, and we're going to buckle down and try to get them back on track. So I wanted to personally give you a call and let you know what's going on with Ayesha here at the academy. And
This is terrible. This is
Yes,
absolutely terrible. I mean, we are here already in January, and I'm getting a call that my daughter's not doing good, and now you're going to tell me that she can't go on a spring break trip in March? As far as I'm concerned, my daughter, straight A's. Straight A's. She's an amazing student. She does really hard work. She always looks forward to going to school, and I get a call today that she can't go in March?
Well, I'm sorry.
You've got to be kidding me.
Are you going somewhere in March, ma'am? You're saying going somewhere, a trip, or are you? Are you scheduled
She's
to
going
to
on
be
the
out
trip.
of?
I'm not going anywhere. She's going on the trip. I'm giving her full permission to go on a trip.
Okay. Well, unfortunately, I'm requesting that she's at school. So I don't know if your trip costs you a lot of money or if you can get a refund, but I'm calling you, letting you know I need her there on March 11th in the classroom so we can buckle down and try to get her back on track.
No, well, I'm telling you, I paid for the trip, and she's going on the trip. I'm sorry. And I don't appreciate
sorry,
this phone call because it's so late in the game. I'm sorry. She's going on the trip.
No, Miss Keisha, she's not going on the trip. She is actually going to be coming into school, and she'll be there on March 11th from Monday through Friday. Now,
I don't know who you're talking to. That's my child. I'm telling her she's going on the trip.
But she's your child, but she's my student. And right now, all of my students are going to be that are not doing well in their classes are going to be there during spring break, and they're going to get their business together.
No,
now,
they're not. You're yelling at me like you're reprimanding me like I'm a child. Okay? I'm telling you now that my daughter, she's going on a trip.
No, she's not going on a trip, and you're telling me what you're trying to override my position, and that's what's not going to happen. She has to be there. You might as well start looking for a refund because she's not going to not be there. So I need her there Monday through Friday of spring break so we can get her back on course.
Listen, I don't know who the you think you're talking to. I have the ultimate position over even you. That's my daughter. That's my daughter. I get to tell you what I'm doing to her, and she's going on that trip. You're out of your mind if you think you're going to tell me that I have to not send my daughter on the trip. Sorry. It's not happening.
I'm telling you right now, she's not going on a trip. Now,
yes, the hell she is.
Oh, no, she's not. I'm going to speak with Ayesha tomorrow and let her know that
I
I have
don't
spoken with
her. You're not going to tell my daughter a damn thing.
I'm telling her she's not going on a spring break trip. You know why? Because her grades, they're not up to par. She needs to be more concerned about her grades and not going and hanging out and lollygagging around wherever you're sending her. No, it's not happening. I want all of my students with passing grades. I'm a 100% assistant principal, and all my kids pass.
What, are you trying to convince yourself that you're important or something? Give me a break. You're like a baby. My daughter is going on the trip, and that's final. You hear me?
Okay. You know what? I'll speak with Ayesha tomorrow morning at school.
No, you're not.
Yes, I will. Now, here's the deal. I'll leave you this, Miss Keisha. If Ayesha does not show up Monday through Friday of spring break, then maybe you're going to have to find Ayesha another school.
You're threatening me now? You're threatening me. You're threatening to, what, kick my daughter out of school because of a spring break?
If your daughter is not here doing spring break Monday through Friday, then she's going to
get the out of here. Please. I'd like to see you try that. Give me a break.
Miss Keisha, I think this conversation is over. My next conversation will be with Ayesha.
Guess what? She's going on spring break. She's staying in the school. If you do something about it, I will have people picketing outside your school. You're talking about nonsense. My daughter does great in school, and she's going on a trip, and that's it.
Ayesha will be in school Monday through Friday, go on spring break, getting her grades back up to par.
Who are you talking to? Who are you yelling at like that? Are you out of your mind? I swear to God, if I was over there, I'd kick your What the is wrong with you? Yo, you're out of control.
Help your daughter with her
up. Who the are you talking to?
You know what Ayesha told me about you? Do you know what Ayesha told me about you?
What did she tell you?
She told me to prank phone call you. This is nephew Tommy. from the Steve Harvey Morning Show. Keisha,
oh my God!
Your daughter Ayesha she got me.
You're giving me high blood pressure over here. Oh my God!
Are you good? You all right, baby girl?
Yep. That's awesome. Oh my God, I was really going to go over there and you up. I can't believe this. Oh my God.
Okay, I got to ask you something, Miss Keisha. What is
go
the
for it.
baddest, and I mean the baddest radio show in the land?
Without a doubt, Steve Harvey Morning Show.
Right there. Anybody want me? Y'all want me to prank anybody for y'all in 2019? I'm telling you, I'm on the road now.
No, we don't. No, we don't.
Oh, we don't? Okay.
Somebody, huh? Give me somebody in that phone of yours. Give me somebody famous, baby. Let me get somebody. How about Tyler? How about I prank Tyler?
All right, well, listen, coming up.
It ain't going to go like you think.
Coming up at the top of the hour, entertainment news right after this.
You're listening to the Steve Harvey Morning Show.
Jay-Z and Meek Mill just announced details of their new criminal justice reform project. This was at a press conference in New York City. They have joined forces with Patriots owner Robert Kraft, 76's co-owner Michael Rubin, Brooklyn Nets co-owner Clara Wu Tsai, and more, okay? The new group is called the Reform Alliance. CNN host Van Jones will serve as CEO, and Meek and Rubin will be co-chairs. Meek called creating the Reform Alliance one of the most important things I've ever done in my life. If you thought my case was unfair, there are millions of others dealing with worse situations and caught up in the system without committing crimes. With this alliance, we want to change outdated laws, give people hope, and reform a system that's stacked against us. I love that. Jay-Z added, if someone commits a crime, they should go to jail, but these things are so disproportionate and the whole world knows it. It's a humane issue. The new group will work to change laws on a state-by-state basis while running a public awareness campaign. You can find out more at reformnow.com. What do you think about that, Steve?
I'll tell you what.
That's big.
Mm-hmm.
That's how you do it.
Yeah.
Kudos to Meek Mill and to Jay-Z.
Yeah.
And then to have the real smarts to partner. This is almost like when you're dealing with a football owner and a basketball owner and two hip-hop artists. That's about as bipartisan as you can get. You understand?
Right.
I mean, you talking about cats from two different worlds. Now, Jay-Z can participate in their world because he's at a level financially that puts him over there with them. But like we all know that are African American, there are still things in place that keep us out of certain situations. And from time to time, racism will rear its ugly head and remind you of who you are. Now, it doesn't stop you, but they do things to remind you that systematic people. I'm talking about racists. I'm not talking about all people. I'm just talking about people who are of power, who are racist. They do some things to remind you who you are. So to partner with basketball team owners and a guy like Robert Kraft, very, very powerful NFL owners, one of the top powerful people in the NFL, is like really, really smart.
That's great.
Yeah,
really smart.
It really is good news. Hopefully some change will
That's
come
how
from
we
this.
do it. If it's just black people screaming, they won't listen.
That's true, Steve.
That's a shame, too.
Correct.
Yeah, it really is.
It's
It
just
really
the damn
is.
truth.
Yeah.
man.
But
See-
it's the world we live in which we live.
Slavery didn't end because black people were sick of being slaves.
That's right.
Tell the
Because we
truth.
were sick as we got on the boat. We were sick when we were sitting on the auction block. We were sick of being in the fields from day one.
Yeah.
From day one, we were sick of it. So it took a lot of African Americans, black people, to rally, but they had to have help. And thank God for Quakers who helped along the Underground Railroad path, who helped, who there were well-meaning whites who helped conceal a lot of blacks and slaves escaping to the north. A lot. Now there were a lot of people with hounds out there hunting them down too.
Yeah.
You know, but you had enough good ones to get a lot of them through. And you know, it's a lot of tragic stories out there about people seeking freedom. But now, you know, this country, man, has always been a part of the pain of seeking freedom. And we're supposed to stand for freedom and justice and liberty, but they pick and choose who they give it to. You know, slaves had to fight to be free, to escape to the north. You got people south of the border who trying to escape the situation that they have in South America and Mexico and for a better life.
Trying to get asylum. Yeah.
You know, asylum. I mean, some people here, man, because they just trying to escape the deprivation and pain and misery
And
and murder
violence.
and violence
Yeah.
and crime.
That's right.
The majority of people who come across that border are seeking work and opportunity, the vast majority. And the truth of the matter is, regardless as to how they are masters at flipping the script, just like they did the brothers kneeling on the sideline, They are masters at flipping the script. The majority of the drugs, Donald Trump is saying, if we build a wall, crime will fall. That's his new rhyme today. If you build a wall, crime will fall. That's not true. Because the majority of the drugs that come into this country are from legal entry ports. Now, there are drugs coming from Mexico. Don't get me wrong. Oh, yeah. It's a gateway for weed. It's a gateway for meth. But guess what? That ain't where the majority of it coming from. The vast majority of it. And they ain't packing them over in backpacks either. They driving.
Hello.
Right.
At that gate. The most drugs come through that gate down there. That's where the most come from. Legal ports of entry. Yeah, they come through that gate because they can't catch all of it. Yeah. People ain't backpacking that much dope crossing that damn desert. Man, come on. Sad the way he's flipped the script on this again.
Yeah.
But this is going to come back to backfire on him. It's already working.
It is, yeah.
It's already
Democrats know it's him. Now, the percentage of people who agree with him in the Republican Party are much higher. But that's just because there's a disconnect over there for some reason. But they need to open this government, man. I know that these people
Oh, my God. I know. All right. Well, listen, coming up in 20 minutes, the president dared Nancy Pelosi to shut down his State of the Union address, and so she did. We'll talk about it coming up in 20 minutes after the hour.
You're listening to the Steve Harvey Morning Show.
Well, in political news, Speaker of the House Nancy Pelosi has shut down the president, okay? So the government shut down, and now Nancy Pelosi shut the president down. No wall and no State of the Union. In a memo to the president, Speaker Pelosi wrote, "I'm writing to inform you the House of Representatives will not consider a resolution authorizing the State of the Union address in the House of Chamber until the government has reopened."
That's what you do for shutting my flight down. That's what you do for that, partner.
And the government, more importantly.
Right, Try me.
It doesn't make any sense, but I don't know how Republicans forget that this is what he said he'd do. It was all over the news. I'm going to own the shutdown. I'm going to shut the government down. When we shut it down, I'll own it.
Well, own it.
He said that.
But this is what you can't do. You can't use that and hold all these 800,000 people hostage for your wall. But you promised the wall.
I know. Tomorrow they'll miss another paycheck.
You promised the wall. You said Mexico's going to pay for it.
But this is nothing to shut the government down over.
Nothing. I mean, they said it's almost costing like $6 billion to shut the government, to keep the government shut down. Isn't that what he's asking for, the down payment for the what, Steve?
No, he wants the price of the wall, $5.6 billion. But and the Democrats will give you something towards a wall, but they don't want to give you the 5.7 because they want some of the money to go to legal entry ports.
For border security.
But what Shirley is saying, paying back the furloughed workers, is going to be about $6 billion.
It's going to be about the same money. That's what I'm saying. About $6 billion.
You got to pay
with
them
a B. Yeah.
This is ridiculous. I would say Nancy Pelosi, she is standing her ground on that.
Yeah. I mean, come on. You know, this is you're playing with people's lives here.
He's always done that. If you read his book, The Art of a Deal, he said this is how he negotiates. He puts something out there and he doesn't back down.
But Steve, that's when that's in business, and when you're trying to acquire companies and more real estate and things like that. These are people. These are humans we're talking about.
Their lives, their lifestyle.
Yeah,
he run it like
he
run it like
I understand everything you're saying.
Huh?
What people don't understand everything you're saying, and what you're saying is true. But you have a man who does not know how to manage or govern people. He runs businesses. This ain't a hotel. This is a country. And these people don't work for you. These ain't your damn employees.
Yeah, you work for us. Get it right.
Right.
All right, listen, we got to move on. Coming up at 34 after the hour. Coming up at 34 after the hour, Steph Curry and his wife put their marriage first before their kids. Plus, Steve is going to give out some marriage advice as well.
Hell yeah, I do too.
Right after this.
You better know it.
You're listening to the Steve Harvey Morning Show.
Celebrity chef Ayesha Curry, wife of Stephen Curry of the NBA's Golden State Warriors, says a secret to staying married. You guys listen who are married. They say the secret is to not put the kids first.
Mm-hmm.
This is
I'm with
trending
that.
everywhere.
I'm with it.
Ayesha said that she and Steph got advice from both of their parents, and both of their parents have been married a long, long time, more than 30 years. The one thing they both shared with us, they said, is just making sure that we put each other first. Because when you become a parent, you want to put your kids first, and we do, but we do it to our relationship, she's saying. Ultimately, when our relationship is good, the kids are happy, and they're thriving, and our family life is good. We have to put that into perspective and realize that it's not us being selfish, it's making sure we set a strong foundation. I love this. I love this. This has been trending everywhere because a lot of people do not agree with this. They do think that you should put the kids first before your partner.
No,
a lot of people
they're a
think
nice
that.
second. Ain't nothing wrong with being second right there. Ain't nothing wrong with it.
But I mean, she's right. You have to build a strong foundation, and that's the marriage, the relationship between the two people who made the kids. Right, Steve?
What they're saying, I agree with 100%.
Do you?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Now, do you have to care for these kids, love them, and guide them? Yeah. Absolutely. But the cornerstone of the family is the parents. If the parents break up, the family is fractured. The suffering starts from every level of every child's life. I want my mama, I want my daddy.
Yeah.
Well, because you've lost focus of who you all were that got y'all. The kids didn't put y'all together in the first place. Y'all might have came together to have the kids, but the kids don't put you in a marriage. You should be married because you're in love and you can't live without each other. Well, you've got to tend to that. Even when you have kids, mommy and daddy are first. Now, they're very important. And as infants, they can't live without you. So daddy know he gonna get pushed off to the side because we got an infant who must be cared for 24/7, completely and totally dependent on us. Daddy get that, mama get that. But you've got to service one another and continue the service, because if you don't, Tommy said it, the marriage will suffer. If the marriage suffers, the family becomes fractured, and then what do we have? You have all the time you want for the kids, but you have fractured the family. And what Ayesha Curry is saying is absolutely important. She's not saying that the kids ain't important, that the kids don't get to be thought of first.
And, Steve, not only that, she went to some experts, people that they respected and admired who had been together, married for more than 30 years.
Yeah, her parents and in-laws.
His parents.
And I think what she's saying, it kind of goes against when you're a parent, your parent instincts that you're saying that the kids aren't first. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So when she said that, people are like, what?
Yeah.
You know, you don't put your children first.
People were so upset about this.
No,
they
but
really
listen
were.
to me. They're not. But you know what? People, look, it's going to take, the world is full of different opinions. So you can disagree with Ayesha and be perfectly right with how you want to do it. We were talking about should boys and girls be raised differently on the show the other day. And a woman was adamant, you should raise a girl no different than you raise a boy.
Why would you do?
I disagreed. That's the problem. You're treating your daughters different than your boys. They are different. I don't know if you noticed it. But they damn sure very different. And they think totally different. They process information totally different, and they wired different.
But it's nothing that she came up with. She went to some experts who had done it, and it worked for them.
They
you
married
know,
30 years, like mom and dad.
Yeah, come on. What, Tommy?
I was just saying, if I don't go out to lunch with my wife, to a movie, to a concert, if I don't keep that consistently going, we slipping away from each other. We got to have some fun. We got to go out.
That's
we got to kick it.
Yeah.
We have to kick it.
And have fun.
All right, coming up next, it is the nephew with the prank phone call right after this.
You're listening to the Steve Harvey Morning Show.
All right, guys, listen. Coming up at the top of the hour, right about 4 minutes after, it's today's Strawberry Letter. The subject, neither one of us can be trusted. Whew. But right now, the nephew is here. Speaking of marriage, right now, the nephew is here with today's prank phone call. What you got, Neff?
Well, we've been talking about the wall. We've been talking about the wall, ain't we? So here what we finna to do. We gonna see if anybody want to work the wall. Okay?
Ooh.
So this right here, if anybody want to work the wall, this title is Wall Workers. Okay?
Whoa.
Wall Workers.
They got a course for that too. They was gonna open it up at the Fry. How to repair clippers.
Wow.
Wall.
I think it's called CRP.
CRP.
Here it is, y'all.
Clipper
Wall
repair.
workers.
What is it, Steve?
Clipper repair.
It's not about clippers, it's about the wall.
That's what he said,
What?
Tommy. The wall, clippers.
Wall workers. Now here it is.
Hello, I'm trying to reach Harvey, please.
Speaking. Who's this?
My name is Kevin. I'm calling from Wall Workers Recruitment. Are you currently working right now? Are you employed?
No, I'm not employed. I'm looking for some work right now. Yeah.
Okay. Oh, great,
What was your name
great.
again?
So, I'm sorry?
What was your name again?
My name's Kevin. Kevin.
Okay. How you doing, Mr. Kevin?
I'm good. You got recommended. Somebody gave us your name that you might be interested in doing some work. We actually have a contract with the government, and we at this point don't have enough manpower, and we're looking for people that want to work. So this deal is actually going to probably start mid-March, beginning to mid-March, and this is going to be a 3 to 4 year job. So if you're looking for some employment, we've got you. This job is going to pay $40, $45 an hour. You're going to work 12-hour shifts and at least 6 hours a day, and it's all construction. So from my understanding, you've done quite a bit of construction. Is that right?
Yeah, that is correct, sir. I've been working in construction for the past 12 years now. So yeah, that's great. Thank you so much for calling.
Yeah. Are you used to work with concrete quite a bit?
Yeah. No, I do everything. You know, anything that has to do with construction, I'm your man. So
good deal. We definitely want you to come in, and we want to get you a physical. Make sure you're in good shape to actually be a part of the company. We want to make sure you're all fit and ready to go for March. So, do you think this would be something you'd like to do?
Yeah, this is amazing. So, what type of project is this?
This is, like I said, we're on Wall Workers Recruitment. I'm actually spearheading it. We got this deal with the government, so as soon as we get the green light, we just got to make sure we got enough manpower, and we're looking for...
Wait a second. Did you say Wall Workers Recruitment?
Wall Workers Recruitment. Correct, sir.
Like building the wall?
Building the wall at the borders. Exactly.
I know. I'm sorry, man. I'm gonna have to pass on this. I mean, I need the work.
Is there a problem, Javi?
Yeah, it's a problem. I mean, I'm Mexican American, man. I got family that lives over there in Mexico. I got family that lives over here. You know, in the States. Like, I don't want to be a part of that. I mean, there's too much controversy. I don't want to be a part of anything that Trump has to do with building some wall. Are you kidding me?
You were excited when I told you we were paying you $45 an hour for 12-hour shifts and six days a week. I mean, that's pretty good money.
Of course, that's great money, but I wouldn't be a part of this if you paid me $100 an hour or $1,000 an hour. I mean, you know, that's disrespectful to my people, my brother. I mean, it ain't gonna happen. I don't want no part of this. I didn't know what type of project it was until now. I mean, you must have said it really quickly because I didn't catch what you said. And I don't know if you're catching what I'm saying, but I want no part of this.
So you have a problem with building a wall, and we're paying you X amount of dollars that's going to put, food on your table and take care of your family? You got a problem with that?
No, I don't give a if it puts food on my table. I can make my money looking for some other work. I ain't going to be a part of building some mother wall. Don't you understand what I'm saying, bro?
I hear what you're saying,
cool.
but I mean,
We're
going to
war being built in the first place. My family, my ancestors, this land right here belonged to them before it was a part of the U.S. All right? I mean, how there's a border is because some sold this part of Mexico to the U.S. I mean, he betrayed us Mexicans. This is not cool. Not cool.
Okay,
so let me ask you a question. Are you just calling Latinos to build this wall, or are you calling other races too?
I haven't. I don't know everyone's nationality, sir. You just came.
Well, what about the last names? How about that? Though? Are you looking at the last names?
I'm not looking at the last names. I mean, I know. I assume that you were Latino. Your name is Javi. I got that, but
it's actually Javier. It's Javier, not Javi. Only my friends and family call me Javi. All right?
Okay. Do you have any friends or family you think might want to work the wall?
Man, you, bro. Yo, who the do you think you are, man? Your parents probably dropped you when you were a baby. Nobody could be that dumb and stupid all at once. Haven't you seen the news? I mean, what the hell do you think I was going to say? I mean, you, Trump, and everybody else that's a part of building this wall going to all shove the wall up your all right? I mean,
okay, well,
disrespectful. You might really think that you can just start recruiting Latinos to do your dirty work?
Excuse me, I'm sorry, Javier. What about Luis? What about
Luis?
Your cousin. I mean, would he be all right on the wall?
What do you mean, my cousin Luis? How the do you know my cousin Luis? Don't tell me you got him signed up and he's the one that recommended me. Because I'm going to kick his I'm going to go to his house right now and kick his in front of his mother. You better not tell me my cousin signed up already.
No, I'm going to tell you this. Your cousin Louise got me to prank phone call you. This is nephew Tommy from the Steve Harvey Morning Show. Harvey, you just got pranked back.
You mother. I can't believe this. Oh my God, this is crazy, man. We're gonna go in and kick it. Oh, you guys got me good, man. You guys got me real good.
Hey, Javi, do this for me, man. In Spanish, let me know this. What is the baddest radio show in the land?
La estación favorita mía es the Steve Harvey Morning Show.
Man, play too much, man.
Steve, what you got to say to your nephew about the wall?
When he found out what wall your ass was talking about, man, boy, he let you have it.
Yes, he did. In two languages.
Yeah, y'all go there, y'all do concrete, all that. Wait a minute, man. The wall. Talking about the wall on CNN.
I got your wall.
They're going on that bill, man.
Oh, man.
Wow, Tommy.
That might have been too far right there, man.
Yeah, you think?
Hey, you know what, though? His cousin Louise put me up to it. He said, hey, give my cousin Javi. He ain't working. He said, give him a call. Do something about the wall, Tommy. I said, okay, cool. I put that wall on his ass.
Yeah, no. I'm surprised he knew what you were talking about, cuz.
I held it. I was able to say it, but I don't know if I can do it under pressure.
You know, when you prank, you can actually say your doubles.
Oh, man.
But you.
Out of character.
You, Tommy, well, you go out of character. You can say, but when you come on back.
There it is, baby.
All right. Thank you, Neff.
Excellent, Neff.
Thank you.
Working the wall. We working the wall.
Coming up at the top of the hour, right about 4 minutes after, it's my strawberry letter for today. The subject, neither one of us can be trusted, okay? We'll do it. Get into it right after this.
You're listening to the Steve Harvey Morning Show.
All right, guys, it's time now for today's Strawberry Letter. And if you need advice on relationships, on dating, work, sex, parenting, and more, please submit your Strawberry Letter to Steve Harvey FM and click Submit Strawberry Letter. And we could be reading your letter live on the air, just like we're going to read this one.
Could be.
Yeah.
Buckle up. Hold on tight. We got it for you. Here it is, the Strawberry Letter.
Subject, neither one of us can be trusted. Dear Steve and Shirley, my husband and I are in our late 30s and have been married for 15 years. We've had some hiccups in our marriage, and we went to counseling to fix the issues. I thought we were doing really good since the counseling, but here we are a year later, and my husband's insecurities got the best of him. He created a fake social media account and pretended to be one of my exes that I dated before we got married. He started sending me sweet messages, posing as my ex, but I was very stern about letting him know that I'm happily married and not interested in him at all in that way. I thought it was weird that my ex would still want me after over 15 years of not seeing me. I was intrigued, but still not interested. But here's where I messed up and got caught up. I set a date to meet my ex, who was really my husband, at a sushi bar for dinner. The day I was supposed to meet my ex, I lied and told my husband that I was going to dinner with my girls, but I didn't tell him where. When I pulled up at the sushi restaurant to meet my ex, my husband called me and explained to me how he set me up, and then he told me to bring my lying, cheating behind back home.
God.
Whoa! I was embarrassed and really upset with him. I have admitted I was wrong, but at the same time, I feel like he owes me a big apology too. This is not normal behavior to trick your wife like this. Now we're back in counseling, but I don't think this marriage works for me anymore. Is it okay for my husband to play games with me like this? Who was more at fault, me or him? I want to get a divorce. Please help. Now this right here, this is some mess right here. This right here is some mess. Yeah.
This right here.
Normally, I would definitely suggest counseling and some therapy to help get troubled marriage back on track. But it doesn't seem like your husband got any good from it when he was in it the first time. His deceitful behavior only made things worse because you got caught up in it, which turned into lying from you and possibly cheating from you on him. No, I know you didn't cheat, but this was a dangerous game he was playing. Yes, you both were wrong, to answer your question. Him for setting you up, and you for lying to him and for going. This is not normal behavior. You're right about that. Yeah, he owes you an apology too. This is a mess, like I say. I'm glad you're back in counseling. I don't know. It didn't work the first time. Maybe you guys should have I hope you chose a different counselor this time, because it definitely didn't work because that big setup he put on you. But yeah, you gotta be... you can't be doing this, okay? I don't care how good it sounds. You didn't cheat, but you lied, and you almost cheated, okay? So you guys are both at fault, and two wrongs definitely don't make a right. You want to get a divorce, that's on you. Steve?
Woo-wee.
This is some crazy mess.
First of all, let me just say this. These two people is sick of each other and have been sick of each other for quite some time because they've just become so bored with one another, so familiar with one another, because they've been married half of their life almost. They weren't able to experience any of the other things in life or partake of many things in life, so they just been married. They've had a tough marriage. They've been to counseling several times, and they thought it had worked out. Well, your husband let this insecurity get the best of it. So this dude creates a fake social media page, then got on it and pretended to be one of her exes that she dated before we got married. Now, that's 15 years ago. Oh, they in their late 30s. Okay, I got it now. I thought they was 30. They're in their late 30s, which means they could be about 38, 39, something like that. Been married 15 years, that's 23. Huh?
Yeah.
Something like that.
Mm-hmm.
So pretended to be this dude that she dated before they got married. And, you were very stern. You let him know you're happily married, not interested in him at all in that way. And you kind of thought it was kind of crazy that your ex still wanted you over 15 years and ain't even seen you. You were shocked and probably cause, since he ain't seen you, he don't know what he getting, so you probably just as surprised as he would have been had you showed up. You know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Ain't none of us what we was 15 years ago. That could have brought on a lot of surprise.
Yeah.
So anyway, you got intrigued, but still not interested. But here's why I messed up and got caught up. Oh, see, right here, lady, now you're lying. See, you got intrigued and you got caught up. Because you know what you did? You set a date to meet your ex, who was really your husband, at a sushi bar for dinner.
Lord.
The day I was supposed to meet my ex, I lied to my husband, told him I was going to dinner with my girls. I didn't tell him where. Then I pulled up at the sushi restaurant to meet my ex/your husband. Your husband called you and explained to me how he set you up. Then he told me to bring my lying, cheating behind back home. I was embarrassed. And here's why I love you. I was embarrassed and really, really upset with him. Girl, you better do it. You better do like men do. You better flip that script. You better take a best defense is a good offense. You better hair up and be madder than him. Boy, I was proud of this girl right here. Because if that ain't a dude move, I ain't never seen one. Yeah. Then caught you cheating, but you mad at the hell you in my phone for?
All right, Steve, listen, we're coming back. We'll have part 2 of your response to today's letter.
When you snoop, you're going to find something.
That's right. Subject, neither one of us can be trusted. We'll be back at 23 after, right after this.
You're listening to the Steve Harvey Morning Show.
All right, Steve, let's go. Let's recap today's strawberry letter. Neither one of us can be trusted is the subject.
Boy, this lady after my heart in this letter. Her and her husband had some trouble, been married for a while, counseling. Her husband pretty insecure because obviously she's messed around. If your man is insecure, it's because you've messed around on him, and he's probably messed around on you. That's why both y'all went to counseling, because y'all both done tripped. But his insecurity got the best of him, so he created a fake social media page. And he acted like he was one of your ex-boyfriends that you dated before y'all got married. He started communicating with him. You started communicating back. You was trying to be stern with it, tell the man you wasn't interested, that you were happily married and you had a husband and all this here. But you couldn't understand why after 15 years this man still wanted you. He ain't even seen you. He don't even know what you done blowed up to be.
Steve!
You know what I'm saying?
Stop that.
I'm talking about her career.
I know. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Let's keep it
See,
moving.
you took it somewhere else.
I took it like you would say it.
But see,
You
in
know
15
it.
years, people can blow up.
Uh-huh.
You can become something you've always wanted to be, or you can just can't believe who you've become. Either way, you couldn't believe he contacted you after 15 years. But you still wasn't interested, you say. You had no interest in him like that. But then you say then this is where you messed up. You set a date with him. Well, if you wasn't interested, what you set the date for? You just wanted to see. Curiosity killed the cat. Now, you done took your kitty cat down to the sushi bar. Set a date with your ex who really your husband. You lied to your husband, told him you was going to have dinner with your girls. You pull up in the parking lot, your husband called you.
Come on, say this like he would
And then
say
you
it.
know what he said?
What?
Hey, let me tell you something. Who you think I am? You down there thinking you finna have some sushi with old boy. Well, let me tell you something. Old boy is me.
Ooh. Ooh.
I set you up. I created an account and act like I was him. Now you bring your lying ass on back to this house.
Steve Harvey.
Huh?
You know what you said there.
I'm talking about huh.
Uh-huh.
Okay. You bring your trifling.
Okay.
You bring your trifling cheating.
Yeah.
He ain't seen you in 15 years. He don't know like I know. Go back in that car and come on back to this house.
You are so kind of stupid.
I'm going to hurt you.
Huh?
I'm going to hurt you.
Huh?
You heard me. Go on.
So then, this where it got good. After she climbed back in that car and tore her belt on that steering wheel. Now she embarrassed because she just popping buttons off front of her blouse and got caught on it. She was making a left turn and tore her blouse clean off. She was real. I got really upset with him. Now, I have admitted that I was wrong, but at the same time, I feel like he owes me a big apology too. Are you for real? Hey, lady, you think your husband gonna apologize to you? You gonna be waiting a long ass time for that.
He should. He tricked her.
Ain't nobody, you can't get tricked if you ain't tricking.
Yeah, you bit it. You bit it.
You understand?
Yeah.
You can't get tricked if you ain't being tricky. Oh, you being tricky. That's why you got tricked. If you'd have stuck to your original slogan, I'm happily married, I'm not interested in you, you wouldn't have been down at the restaurant.
I really hate you.
Sitting up in this car, you know good hell well you surprised he want to see you. Well, let me show you all of me then.
2 pair of Spanx on, can't breathe.
Yeah, just in there, just in there, just catching hell.
Wow.
He watching her get dressed though.
Yeah, where you going, baby? I'm going out here to have dinner with my girl. Why you wearing all those Spanx? Don't ask me nothing about these Spanx. Sitting up in here, and I feel like he owe me a big apology too. This is not normal behavior to trick your wife like this. Now we back in counseling. What is y'all back in counseling for?
It's over.
But I don't think that this marriage works for me anymore. Hell no, because you was going down there to fix it at the sushi restaurant. But big old Cleaver's kind of threw a little hook in the game. Don't nobody want you but me. Bring your ass home back.
He did not say that. That is not in the letter.
You know good and hell well don't nobody want you but me. I don't even know why you down there trying to act like you like sushi. You know your ass eat pork chop. Shouldn't have been going down to a sushi restaurant. You don't even like sushi. All we eat up in here is fried fish. Now you down there with this little man like you eat sushi. You don't eat no damn sushi. You eat the rice. Eat no damn sushi.
Some gravy on it.
I don't think this marriage work for me no more. Hell no. Husband playing games with me like that. Who was more at fault? You for carrying your ass down there. Me or him? I want to get a divorce. Get one. You know, y'all need a divorce and both of y'all need an affair.
What?
Y'all needed a divorce and an affair. You need to get on back down there. But quit going to eat sushi. Go down there and get you a big ass man.
We gotta
Somebody
go.
Eat ham.
We gotta go. Email us or Instagram us. I know your thoughts on today's strawberry letter at
Get
Steve
down there
Harvey.
to that sushi restaurant. Try to meet a sumo wrestler.
At Steve Harvey FM. Coming up in 10 minutes, our girl from the talk, Sheryl Underwood, right after this.
You're listening to the Steve Harvey Morning Show.
Ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, Sheryl Underwood.
Steve Harvey, I don't even know where to get started. It's so much shenanigans out there.
Start with her.
Okay, listen to me. See, back in the day, you know, and I'm going to advance something that might be a little sophisticated, you know, because Shirley Strawberries and I, you know, we grew up in Chicago, right?
Chicago.
They used to walk up to you and ask you, what set you claim. Remember that, Shirley? You used to ask people what set they claim, right?
Okay.
No, Shirley's never done
Never.
that.
No, Shirley was, where you from?
She
So
claims
Cheryl.
Jesus. Follow me. She claims Jesus. She's gang banging for Christ. She claims Jesus.
West Heaven.
Now, the new gang is Nancy Pelosi. She's a goon, man. She's a goon. Nancy Pelosi. Let me tell you something. And Nancy Pelosi, ain't no drive-by. I'm going to put mine right on letterhead. You ain't coming here to speak about nothing.
Right.
Letterhead. I'm number 3. I'm going to be president. Get out of here with that. Then, wait. First of all, let these people go back to work. Because all this mess that you doing, you are spending the same $6 billion you asked for a while that don't nobody want. That they just said on CNN, there's 100 tunnels underneath Mexico running stuff. How many, Cheryl?
They back and forth.
100 tunnels. Mexico say, hey, we got all the time in the world. What you trying to do? What you trying to do? Mexico said, we don't need ladders.
Cheryl, they say they got so many tunnels. Y'all ain't got the dirt to fill them back in.
That's right. You ain't got the wall. Yeah. You ain't got no plywood.
We coming, Pimp.
We done already got 100 tunnels to your almost built wall that you really can't fit. Listen,
can't finish
You
that at all.
thinking we can't get El Chapo out? You don't think we can get
Thank you. That's right. Thank you.
Get them
And El Chapo was naked. Everybody else come. They man, listen to me. Trump about to look stupid. He not gonna get reelected because it's his supporters. See, it's not just our brothers and sisters in D.C. It's all over the country. It's Montana.
Right.
It's places where he won that these people are not going to work.
Michigan,
and every place I went through the airport, I hugged them and I said, "Thank you." Thank you for coming to work. I want to thank everybody that's coming to work, the FBI, everybody. But they need to finish this. And Trump, he played too much. You had the House and the Senate, and your stupid butt didn't even bring this forward. He didn't bring it forward when you had the power to do it. Now, you up against one of the shrewdest politicians in the game, Nancy Pelosi. And you should have never gave our sister Maxine Waters that kind of power, subpoena power. Boy, there's a new sheriff in town, and the name is Maxine Waters. I like all those papers in the box. Let's go. I love this right now. Almost made me want to stop being a Republican, but I got to be in the meeting so I can go. You gonna do what?
You gonna be in the meeting, Cheryl?
I love being in the meetings now, Junior. Let me tell you something. And they be trying to put me out, and I'd be like, okay, give me all the money I donated then. Since you want to put somebody out. I thought so. I ain't seen nobody deal with Russian prostitutes since The Wire went off. What the hell's going on?
On HBO.
Liz, remember they had all the Russian prostitutes and that tanker canister? Man, that daggone Idris Elba, though.
Sexiest man alive.
Trying to have a moment of silence.
Ring a bell.
String of bells.
Yeah, man. Man, listen, I couldn't even watch that. I was like, you lost me with this. Oh, let me say, can I say something about the Hebrew Israelites and the Indian man and the children?
Yes.
Let me tell you something. First of all, Pope Francis is embarrassed about what they doing over there. Pope Francis did not send them to Washington, D.C. to get involved in no altercation. And everybody know when the black Hebrew Israelites is talking, don't say nothing. Don't say nothing, because you're not going to win that battle. You notice what they did. They smirking all in the face of the Indian man that's trying to be peaceful. What they did not do is cross the threshold of these brothers that wouldn't go, okay, did I go too far? Did I go too far? Y'all getting kind of quiet. Yeah, because y'all know you're happy. Look at the camera. Look at the camera. You ain't seen nobody. You didn't see nobody go over there where the brother Hebrew Israelites was, because they know what time it is. They know what time it is. And smirking, you can get your little hat knocked off. See, you play around, you can get your little hat knocked. What is the new saying, brothers and sisters? It's gonna get your little hat knocked out. You play too much. The world is different. See, Carla told me to stop saying words with vowels and 2 consonants in them. She said,
What?
I've asked you, Cheryl.
She did.
Me and Junior and Tommy don't even know what a vowel and consonant it is.
The vowel with the 2 consonants in it.
I forgot. I ain't gonna lie to you.
It's a vowel and 2 consonants. And Carla will call you on a block number number where you think it's like Pizza Hut or Grub Hub calling you to let you know your orders outside, and it be Carla.
Girl, you crazy.
So when she want to get you together, she would not call you on the number you got. She would call you.
You crazy.
And you be like, who the heck? Where my pizza? Oh, Carla. Okay, you want me to stop cursing? Okay.
Thank you.
How
Goodbye.
you get this number? How you get this number? Listen, real talk. Is Joe Biden gonna run or what?
He need to.
Well, right now, Cheryl, it looks like he's the only one that could really beat Trump right now.
Yes.
He looks like that.
While I'm happy
See,
that,
I like
that
the
Kamala.
sister Kamala.
Oh,
Yeah, I like her
Kamala
too.
Harris.
I like her.
Yeah,
I like her too.
I love Kamala.
But now we've got to get through the clutter.
Yes, right?
She's got to make it through the primaries.
Yes.
That Iowa, whatever, I don't know what the
Iowa,
hell be happening
New
over
Hampshire's,
there.
all of that.
They
That's right.
ass
All of
get
those.
your ass on
Yes.
point.
Yeah.
They get you together.
Yeah, so I don't know, man. I just don't know yet.
Yeah, it's hard
But I
to
think
tell,
she'd make a good vice president, don't you think, to Joe Biden? No shade on her. I'm just saying, when we trying to get the winning hand, we need an old school dude up there or a woman up there, but really old school dude, and then have her be vice president, grow her into presidency. We take control of the White House for at least 16 to 24 years. Did I just repeat the Republican strategy? Ooh.
Thank you, Cheryl. We
That's
got
why I
to get
made the
out of
meeting.
here. We love your
We gotta
take
get
on
out of here.
everything. We thank you
I'm going
so
back
much.
in this Republican meeting, Shirley. I got to go
Okay.
back and get some more information.
Get the knowledge. Get the knowledge.
Coming up at the
Get the
top of the
information.
hour, Carla is here with her reality update right after this.
You're listening to the Steve Harvey Morning Show.
Tommy, do the honors, please.
It's that time. Get ready. She is here. Carla Farrell with reality update.
Boy, this where I shine. Ooh,
Well, let's get
come
this
on.
shining. Come on. Thank you, nephew. All right.
Watch
here we go,
how
Steve.
much I know. Come on.
Okay, let's talk about Celebrity Big Brother. Have you been watching that?
Oh, with
Hell
the
yeah.
mooch. With the mooch, right?
Yes.
Yeah,
It's
the
a group
dude that
of
was on the
Anthony
thing
Scaramucci.
with Donald Trump for 2
yeah,
days.
White House, the
Press
former White House
secretary.
communications.
Yeah.
director.
Communications
Yes.
director for 11
Yeah.
days.
Yeah.
Creator of
mooch.
the SALT convention.
Mm-hmm. So anyway, if you don't know, Big Brother is a group, Celebrity Big Brother. Anyways, reality show, group of celebrities. They live in this house for several weeks, and there's cameras and microphones that follow their every move, like 24 hours a day. And so each
Smooch
week,
got got too much money for this here.
Okay.
You don't know
So
why he
check
in
this
there.
out. Each week, someone is voted out of the house, and the last remaining house guest on this edition of Celebrity Big Brother will win $250,000.
Okay.
So some of the celebrities include our guy, Anthony Mooch, Scaramucci. We've been talking about him, the former White House communications director with
He
President
already
Trump.
got that much money. He got
He's good. Tamar Braxton,
Now, his
former
divorce,
NFL
his
player.
divorce is costing him a lot, too.
Is it really the Mooch?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, I didn't
Let me
know
tell
he
you
was
who
getting
else is in the house.
Oh, yeah.
Tamar Braxton, former NFL player Ricky Williams.
Ricky!
Ricky, yeah. Candy
Crazy
Burris.
ass Ricky.
Who used to get high all the
Candy
time.
Burris.
Crazy.
Before they legalized
I know why he
marijuana.
on the show. He
Yeah.
he hot now.
Junior Candy Burris from Real Housewives of
Whoa.
Atlanta. She's on there. Olympic athlete Lolo Jones.
I
Wow,
used to have a crush
Lolo,
on
yeah.
Lolo. Oh my
Love
god.
Lolo fan.
Everybody loved Lolo.
Yeah.
Yes.
Uh-huh.
Okay, so let me just update you. The Mooch got voted off.
Already?
He's gone.
Because he ain't fit in.
What happened?
He ain't fit in.
Well, he didn't win head of household, and
Yeah, he
they vote you
bullshit. He
off.
got money.
Ryan,
They
the
didn't wanna-
swimmer.
I didn't think
They
it was.
ain't have nothing in common with nobody in the house. Ain't nobody like talking to him.
Yeah,
No, they didn't.
I don't
No,
know.
and-
I wasn't real thrilled about him being in there anyway.
He
I
ain't fit in.
Yeah, I didn't
He
think
don't
he was.
fit in.
Yeah, I didn't think he was a good man. good fit.
Ex-football player.
Listen to Steve.
Yeah.
You're
No, he
absolutely
don't. He
right.
don't fit in.
Yeah,
It's like, stick out of the
Yeah.
mud.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
So anyway, there's this beef going on between Tamar and Candy.
No, what is? I
No,
don't
not the
know.
sisters. Not the sisters.
I don't
tell me
understand what's going on. I guess there was drama, Tommy, between Tamar and Candy before they actually got into the Big
Right.
Brother house. So they were arguing about little bitty things, and Tamar and Kandi were arguing about who's relevant in Atlanta and then being a star, with reality TV. It was just a crazy argument. I think Tamar went too far. She took it there, and Kandi was like, why are you going there? And then Kandi, she just didn't understand it at all. And then Tamar was also mad at Kandi for what happened on the Escape tour. Tamar was on the tour. She said Kandi was talking about her, and Tamar said she was going through a rough time in her marriage, blah, blah, blah. take a listen. I have a little sound from that. Take a listen.
Now, but see, that's where it's not going to go well because that last
What are you talking
because when somebody's telling you how, when somebody tell you how they feel, for you to laugh is
because I wasn't trying to attack you. Okay, Tamar. Whatever.
I can't take this laughing. I'm out of here. I can't deal with this laughing. This is hilarious to me. The fact that she's trying to make me this villain in her life is like totally ridiculous.
Wow.
Oh, man.
Yeah, that's Kandi. That's what Kandi was saying. And Tamar
I don't like it.
Man, Tamar broke down and she was crying. It was just a lot. I'm like, what?
I've had Tamar on my show. She a lot now. She a lot. She get into it with everybody on the damn show. They be over there nervous.
Oh, was she doing the panel?
Oh, they be over there nervous, man.
on your talk show.
Yeah, straight talk panel.
Man, I've had several girls on the show nervous about it. I don't want to say nothing Tamar don't agree with.
Yeah, because she'll go there. Yeah.
And
Well,
Candy's usually the level-headed one, right, Carla? Even on Atlanta Housewives, she's kind of getting into it.
Yeah, Kandi, they're trying to push her buttons, and she's kind of she'll go there. I'm not saying Kandi is an angel about by any means, but I'm saying this situation with Tamar, I just feel like Tamar's taking it too far. It's just not necessary.
Right, but Kandi got real business.
Yeah, she's successful.
Nice
toys. So, huh?
Tamar has a career. What'd you say, Tommy?
Don't ask him.
Toys. You ain't seen no toys? Kandi toys?
Candy coated.
How you know about
her sex toy line? She does have a business.
Boy, you ain't heard about them toys? I've been on the website and everything. She got nice toys.
You been on the website? You been shopping?
Hey man. Did you listen to yourself?
Hey, listen.
Surfing.
Please get him.
Hey, Tommy.
Uncle
Listen
Steve.
to yourself.
Listen to me. You're married.
Idiot.
It's certain things you can't say out loud no more.
She know.
Please don't say.
Listen to your uncle.
Tamar Jr. You just talk.
Please don't say nothing about your wife like your stupid ass got ready to say. My wife don't make no statements after that ignorant ass comment you just made. Man, don't say this, boy.
What's wrong with him?
Okay, go ahead, Carl. I'm sorry. Let me just.
Yeah, let's move on.
Shut your
So anyway,
ass up. This ain't your segment.
I'm on there shopping. I got toys.
What is you talking about?
Get him, Lord. All right, let's move on. So that's Celebrity Big Brother. I'll be checking it out. And I think, y'all, is Lolo Jones, I think she's still a virgin. I think she's like 36 years old.
Hey, Lolo.
Oh, I can't say nothing right here, dog. I can't say nothing.
No, I got
it. You can.
Hey, Lolo.
Yeah, you can say something right here. Go ahead.
Yeah.
I'm not sure. I think so. I think she's still.
Oh, I want to hear what he's going to say right
Let me hear what you got to say, Tom.
I'm not going to say nothing.
Okay.
Hey.
I mean, she is really, really a super sweet person. I've had her on my show a couple of times.
Oh, you know her?
Yeah.
You've met her a couple of times?
Yeah, I've met her. She's really, really a sweetheart of a person.
Talented.
And she's saving herself for marriage.
For marriage, yeah.
But we need to hurry this up, though. I'm just going to be
Sound like
real
she's
with you.
running from it.
Hey.
Well, shut up.
Well, you promised
Literally.
you weren't going to say anything.
She's running from it. Why are you running from it?
Carla, please continue.
She's not
Well, I
running
was gonna
from
talk
it.
about
She's
Real
really
House-
just,
Go ahead, Steve.
she's saving herself for marriage.
Yeah,
Yeah,
as
there's
it
nothing
should
wrong with
be.
that.
Yeah.
87729 Steve. What type
Oh, man. All right, Carla, hang on. Let's
You want
just
me to
come
come
back. Yeah, we got to
Okay.
talk about Atlanta Housewives. Yeah. All right, more with Carla and her reality update and more of the Steve Harvey Morning Show right after this.
You're listening to the Steve Harvey Morning Show.
All right, here comes Carla in part two. Come on, Tommy, do the
Only if
Do
we're
the
going back to
honors.
Lolo. We're going back to Lolo?
No, Celebrity Big Brother, no.
What do you
no,
mean
we're
we?
moving on.
Yeah.
We were talking about Lolo. Hey, is Lolo and J-Lo cousins?
Ooh.
I'm just asking. All right, here we go.
No,
We're back with part 2. Carla, the one and only, with reality update.
Yes, thank you, nephew. And don't say nothing else after that.
Ooh, Lord.
All right, we talked about Candy Burris and Tamar and all of them on Celebrity Big Brother. Now let's move on to talk about Candy, Real Housewives of Atlanta.
Hell
so the ladies,
yeah.
All right.
Yeah, okay, Steve. So you know how you talk about they always go on these trips. Well, the ladies are in Tokyo.
Mm-hmm. Japan.
And so this is a trip
For
that
what?
Eva, she put together. And they arrived in Tokyo. And Shirley, did you see that Marlo, none of her bags?
Of all the people.
Oh, somebody's bags got lost?
What did Nene say, Carla? We couldn't have written this if we wanted to.
She said, you can't make this up.
Yeah.
So Marlo's bags didn't make it. She was not happy. Anyway, the ladies got settled in the hotel, and Eva and the one of the new ladies on the show, Tanya, she's a friend. Anyway, they hired a Japanese tour guide to help them, see the sights and, go around Tokyo. And so one of the things that the tour guide told the ladies was that punctuality and being on time is a big thing for the Japanese culture. And it's disrespectful and an insult if they're late. So she was letting them know ahead of time, hey, each day we got
She
stuff to
said
do.
that to some black people.
She sure did walk in there and tell them,
Well,
y'all got to
did
be on time.
anybody from Atlanta tell them that we have CP time?
Well, in our culture.
And that in
Right.
our culture, it applies to damn near everywhere we go.
They were supposed to be there at 11, right, Carla?
Right.
11 a.m.
So the very next day, of course, and Nene, she's usually is not that late, but she was the one that was late that day. So she was, she gave them a warning about their punctuality. So they went to see sights, and they went to this temple, y'all. So they had their fortunes. They were reading stuff about their fortunes in this temple. And the girl Tanya, she's been engaged for a while. And so Nene kind of told her that when she was reading her fortune, well, maybe you should marry somebody else. So later on, they went to lunch. So the girl Tanya asked Nene, what did she mean by that? Because she was kind of offended that she would say something like that. Child, let me tell you,
Baby.
honey.
I don't know what you think you ought to marry somebody else mean.
Well, she was just...
Sound pretty clear to me.
Yeah, but she was like, well, why you going there? Why you all in mind with my business and my fiance? And, and honey, that Nene just fired off. I don't give a blank who you marry. In true Nene form.
Nene got too much pressure on her anyway.
Yeah,
She's going through too much anyway.
And
that was it, because her and Greg were beefing before she got on the trip, and she wanted to get away from Greg. Greg was acting mean, and he's been sick and all of these things. So Nene was not having it. So anyway, I'll update you later. I gotta go. Hit me up at Lips
And
for
on a
Carla.
serious note, man, I'm pulling for Greg.
Yes, we
Yes,
are.
we all are.
Yes,
Pray
sir.
your
Yeah,
healing
we
for
love
Greg.
Greg.
He's a good
Yeah,
brother,
man.
man.
Love Greg. All right, thank you, Carla, as always. We'll be back with more of the Steve Harvey Morning Show right after this.
You're listening to the Steve Harvey Morning Show.
Jay-Z and Meek Mill just announced details of their new criminal justice reform project. This was at a press conference in New York City. They have joined forces with Patriots owner Robert Kraft, 76's co-owner Michael Rubin, Brooklyn Nets co-owner Clara Wu Tsai, and more, okay? The new group is called the Reform Alliance. CNN host Van Jones will serve as CEO, and Meek and Rubin will be co-chairs. Meek called creating the Reform Alliance one of the most important things I've ever done in my life. If you thought my case was unfair, there are millions of others dealing with worse situations and caught up in the system without committing crimes. With this alliance, we want to change outdated laws, give people hope, and reform a system that's stacked against us. I love that. Jay-Z added, if someone commits a crime, they should go to jail, but these things are so disproportionate and the whole world knows it. It's a humane issue. The new group will work to change laws on a state-by-state basis while running a public awareness campaign. You can find out more at reformnow.com. What do you think about that, Steve?
I'll tell you what.
That's big.
That's how you do it.
Yeah.
Kudos to Meek Mill and to Jay-Z. Yeah. And then to have the real smarts to partner When you're dealing with a football owner and a basketball owner and two hip-hop artists, that's about as bipartisan as you can get. You understand?
Right.
I mean, you're talking about cats from two different worlds. Now, Jay-Z can participate in their world because he's at a level financially that puts him over there with them. But like we all know that are African-American, there are still things in place that keep us out of certain situations. And from time to time, racism will rear its ugly head and remind you of who you are. Now, it doesn't stop you, but they do things to remind you. That systematic people, I'm talking about racists. I'm not talking about all people. I'm just talking about people who are of power, who are racist. They do some things to remind you who you are. So to partner with basketball team owners and a guy like Robert Kraft, very, very powerful NFL owners, one of the top powerful people in the NFL, is like really, really smart.
That's great.
Yeah,
really smart.
It really is good news. Hopefully some change will
That's
come
how
from
we
this.
do it. If it's just black people screaming, they won't listen.
That's true, Steve.
That's a shame, too.
Yeah, it really is.
It's
It
just
really
a damn
is.
truth.
Yeah.
But that's
But it's the world we live in which
slavery didn't end because black people were sick of being slaves.
That's right.
Because we were sick as we got on the boat. We were sick when we were sitting on the auction block. We were sick of being in the fields from day one. From day one, we were sick of it. So it took a lot of African Americans, black people, to rally, but they had to have help. And thank God for Quakers who helped along the Underground Railroad path, who helped, there were well-meaning whites who helped conceal a lot of blacks and slaves escaping to the north. A lot. Now there were a lot of people with hounds out there hunting them down too.
Yeah.
You know, but you had enough good ones to get a lot of them through.
All right, coming up next, closing remarks from the one and only Steve Harvey, our last break of the day. You don't want to miss it. Coming up at 49 after, right after this.
You're listening to the Steve Harvey Morning Show.
All right, Steve, last break of the day. Please leave us with some closing remarks like only you can.
This is to help you make ready for your blessings. Now, what I'm going to give you is going to be hard for most people to do. I already know that. It was difficult for me to do. But a very, very wealthy person taught this to me. I didn't think much of it until I did it. And boy, oh boy, did it help make room for what God had for me. Not only that, it freed me up. And I'll tell you what this very, very successful person told me. If I told you his name, you probably wouldn't know him. He's not famous. He's just extremely wealthy. And when I tell you extremely wealthy, I mean it. But if I said his name, you wouldn't even know this guy. If I showed you a picture of him, the average person wouldn't even know who he was. But he taught this to me. He said, in your journey, if you want to really clear the slate, get a fresh start, and prepare yourself to receive what all God has for you, you have to take inventory of the people in your life. And when you take this inventory, you are going to have to act as though you are a gardener. You are a gardener with a grove. And your grove is your life, the things you want to bear fruit from God, your trees. You want apples this season. You want lemons. You want grapefruits. You want peaches. You want pears, plums. You've got to take care of your orchard. In order to take care of your orchard, I notice you've all noticed that from time to time, you see the gardeners outside pruning trees. They cutting them back. They clipping dead ends off. You know why? Because that maximizes the growth of the good in the tree. If you take the dead, unnecessary branches off, the withering ends, it allows for the tree to bear more fruit. So, Steve, how do you take inventory of people? This is what he taught me. He said, you have three kinds of people in your life. He said, you have people who approach you with nothing but bad news. All of us know them. Everybody has somebody that walks up to them, and every time they start talking, something wrong. Or every time they give you a phone call, they bring you bad news. And the bad news don't just be about them. They bring you bad news about you. Did you hear that though they were saying about you down here? And you just go, man. Have you ever had a person that every time they came up to you, you just felt dark because they just brought bad news? Those people that you have in your life, you don't need them. I want you to go through your phone contacts, and everybody that is no good, that never moves your life forward, doesn't give you any helpful advice, doesn't help you, aid you in any way, has nothing but bad news and wants something for you, one-sided friendships, I want you to put a dot next to that contact's name, a black dot. The next person you have in your life are called sometimey people. They the 50-50s in your life. They cool over here as long as you're doing this, but they not cool over here. You can take them here, but you can't take them there. You can discuss this, but you can't bring up that. You can lead them that way, but you can't show them the other way. Sometimes they cool with you about stuff, sometimes they ain't. Those are called sometimey people, or what we gonna call 50-50 people. Everybody got them in their life. When you have a 50-50 person, what I want you to do is put an asterisk by their name. That contact, put an asterisk. Remember, all the bad news people that's always bringing you bad news and darkness, a black dot next to their name. The next person is the 50-50 person. They sometimey, they cool here, they ain't cool there. Put an asterisk by their name. The last person that you know are people who are very supportive of you, people who are willing to pray for you, people who always try to be uplifting, people who, when they got news for you, they try to make it of the positive nature, a person who comes to your aid and your rescue, a person that picks up the phone just to see how you doing, and you bet not mention that something's wrong, because here they come. It's people in your life, man, that you don't even have to talk when you're around them. You could just sit and be still, and y'all just cool like that. Everybody got that ride or die. That I don't care what you tell them. They don't pass judgment, they just your friends. Well, when you have that person, and I'm going to be real honest with you, it ain't a whole lot of them. I want you to put a check by their name. So you got a black dot next to the dark people who bring you nothing but bad news, negativity, something wrong every time. You got an asterisk by the name of the people who are 50-50, sometimey people, and you got a check by the people that's always supportive, prayerful, bring you good news. Now, here's what you do. I want you to take everybody with a black dot next to their name and everybody with an asterisk next to their name, and I want you to block them as your contact. Block them out your phone and block them from your email. If they family, block them from your phone and block them from your email. All I want you to have is people who have your phone number that have a check by your name. You're going to lose a lot of people, but guess what? You're going to gain a lot of ground. You don't have no idea how much time you waste with people in your life who are 50-50 and always got bad news. If you eliminate them, you've cleaned house, your inventory is clean, you now have cleared room to receive the blessings God have for you in this year. I dare you to try it. It works. It sounds cruel. It sounds like it's hurtful, but man, if you want to win, you got to do it. Those are my closing remarks.
Drop it, baby.
I'm talking about that's it right there.
For all Steve Harvey contests, no purchase necessary, void where prohibited. Participants must be legal U.S. residents at least 18 years old unless otherwise stated. For complete contest rules, visit SteveHarveyFM.com.
You're listening to the Steve Harvey Morning Show.